We're talking about forgiveness, okay? And forgiveness is a sensitive subject. It in its essence, it's a conscious act of releasing the feelings of resentment or vengeance towards someone, a person, a group, somebody who's harmed us, regardless of whether they deserve forgiveness or not, right? So it's not based on the person, it is based on us. So it's not based on what they are doing or what they have done. It's not even based on them coming back to us to make reconciliation. It is based on us. It is based on the journey that we are interested in. Some of the myths, it doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean condoning. It doesn't mean excusing. It's making a conscious choice to free ourselves from that cycle of negative emotions. And it's a personal journey. And as I was saying just before, it is an individual thing, because different people go through different paths to forgiveness. And there is no limit on the time. Like, there's no timeline for forgiveness. There's no timeline for forgiveness. So in this video, what our aim is, what our goal is to help understand forgiveness, right? To explore the impact that it may have on us, and then to provide some practical guidance, right? So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do tonight. So as we were just saying, so what is forgiveness? What is forgiveness? And you'll see there, forgiveness is a personal release. It is a personal release. Okay. It's primarily for the person who is forgiving, not for the person being forgiven. It's not for the offender. It's a release of the personal anger, the personal, they have those fantasies that we go through in our head, those revenge fantasies, right? That's the fantasy that happens when someone does something and you're thinking, man, I should have said such and such. And if they had said this, I would have said this. Right. So we're going through that in our head. And, sometimes you think about some other stuff, right? That, have you ever had someone pass you on the highway and they're like, right? And and that's a silly example, but it's a good one. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I hope there's a state trooper up there that catches him. Right. You know how we go through that stuff? Right. So forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's an act of self-empowerment. When we forgive, we are taking back the power. We're taking back the authority. We're taking back control of ourselves. We're taking it away from the person who may have controlled us. And let me pause here to say, there are some of you who are listening to me who've been in some very traumatic situations. Where your thought process, maybe even your body was being controlled by another person. And with the act of forgiveness, we're breaking that cycle and we are taking control of the situation. We're saying we don't care what's going on with them. We don't care what they are doing, but they no longer control us. Forgiveness is a journey and it's not a destination. In so many things that we do, often we think that it is a destination that we're going. It's kind of like weight loss. And everyone thinks, once I lose those 5 pounds, I've arrived. Once I lose those 20 pounds, I've arrived. Once I fit into that dress, I've arrived. Once I can get that suit back on, I have arrived. But weight loss, like many things in our lives, it is not a destination. Now, there are points along the way that we can stop and say, hey, we have gotten to this point, but it is a journey. It can happen relatively quickly for some people, and sometimes it takes a while for others. But in the process, there are going to be days in the weight loss process when you have gotten down to the desired weight, when you're going to start struggling with some of the same things that you struggled with when you first started. And the question is, have you created a process? Have you designed a mindset? Have you changed what you were doing back then so that you don't revert? And so same thing here with forgiveness. There are going to be times that we're going to be reminded, those triggers that happen, we're going to be reminded of something that happened in the process of this betrayal or this hurt that was caused to us. And if we think, okay, we've arrived and we've forgiven, everything is done, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. Forgiveness does not need reconciliation or forgetting. So forgiveness does not require that the person reconcile with us. We don't have to be in close relationship with each other for me to forgive. I can forgive just because I choose to forgive. And I don't have to have that person in my life. I'll tell you, that's a hard one for some of us. There's a hard one, right? Because we often think that forgiveness requires that the bond is rebuilt. No. So remember, forgiveness is a journey towards a healthier thought process, a healthier, more fulfilling life. This idea of releasing the emotions that go along with holding on to this thing. So it's a personal release. It's an act of self-empowerment. It's a journey, not a destination, and it does not necessitate that we reconcile or that we forget. Right? So what is forgiveness? What is forgiveness? What is forgiveness? If you're out there, and these ideas that we just said, if that makes sense, go ahead and put yes, yes. If it's put yes in the comments. Okay? Yes in the comments. So forgiveness. Forgiveness is often hard because of all the emotions that it brings up, right? All those emotions. So what are some misconceptions? And we alluded to some of these. So the first one is that forgiveness means forgetting. Forgiveness means forgetting. And it's just like when we talked about letting go of the past, letting go of fear, letting go of or limiting mindsets. We often think that when we forgive, that we're forgetting, right? When we let go of things, it seems like that thing is gone. And there is no tangible evidence that it was there. So someone hurt you, someone harmed you, and you want to make sure that you remember that it was there, that it happened. I wasn't crazy. And so sometimes we hold on to those grudges and we hold on to that revenge thought because it feels tangible. It did happen, and I know it because this is how I feel. Yeah. It's all right. So forgiveness does not mean forgetting. Forgiveness does not mean that we condone the behavior. Just because I choose not to live in the emotional turmoil that comes with forgiveness doesn't mean I've said to that person, hey, I condone what you did. I condone you hurting me. I condone the control that you had over me. I condone the stuff that you did. Absolutely not the case. As we said, it doesn't need reconciliation. And forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. Let me pause. When we forgive, often we think, man, you're a wimp. You let them do that to you, and you just forgave them. Man, they hurt you so much, and you just let it go. Man, for all these years, I've had this struggle in my head, and now I'm just going to let it go away. And we feel that in order to feel strong, that we've got to hold on to that thing. We've got to hold on to the thought. And if we let it go, then we are weak. Absolutely not the case. So forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. So the power of forgiveness. So what is the power of forgiveness? What's the power of forgiveness? So forgiveness allows us to live in our own skin. It allows us to have physical and mental health. When we hold on to forgiveness, or when we hold on to grudges, when we hold on to those fantasies, do you know how much energy that takes? How much emotional power we've got to put in to maintain, because we're remembering all of those things. We're rehearsing all of those things, right? It causes our heart rate to go up. It causes our cortisol to come out. And so our mental and our physical well-being is harmed when we don't forgive. So the power of forgiveness is that it helps to calm us. We no longer have to have all those thoughts running around in our heads like marbles, right? Have you ever been going about your day and been interrupted by one of those thoughts? Or be interrupted by that memory, interrupted by that whatever, right? Because as long as we are playing it, it's kind of like a movie. You can hit pause and you can hit rewind, you can hit play at any particular time. So when we forgive, it has physical and mental health benefits. It improves relationships because now we can open up to other people. We can open up to other relationships. We can be free because when we're holding on to that past hurt, we're closed, right? People can come so far and no farther. We have a barrier that we've put up around us to keep people at bay. And that itself also takes energy. And people can tell that you are with them, but you're not with them. That you are in the space, but you're not emotionally there. That you're talking, but your mind is elsewhere. You're in the present, but your heart is in the past. So it hinders relationships. It hurts our relationships. So forgiveness gives power to that. And then forgiveness gives power for our personal growth and development. Personal growth and development. And here, let me just hop on and let me say, so first of all, Dr. C, thank you for coming through and helping us out earlier with our static issue. We appreciate that. And then Dana, hey, thank you for coming through. Dana says yes. And I think Dana is answering my question. Does that make sense when we were talking about that, the topics earlier? And she says, great topic. I'm working with a practitioner now, and forgiveness is a key part of the treatment. I love it, love it. And Dana, let me give you a hand clap and thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. All right. Okay. So the power of forgiveness for personal growth and development. Let's pause here and let's dig into this one. Okay. Because this really is the crux of everything. Personal growth and development. And you can actually plug every area in your life into this thought. Here it is. The things that we don't forgive zap and sap and take away the energy that we have so that we cannot put those into our current situation. And if we don't have all the energy that we need, we're not as creative. We're not as social. We're not as happy. We're not as pleasant. We're not the best workers that we could be. We're not the best team players that we can be. We are not the best spouses or daughters or sons or cousins or aunts or uncles or grandparents. We're not the best club members. We're not the best church members. So when we don't forgive, when we hold on, the energy that is taken out of us does not get to go into all of those areas that it needs to go. So when we talk about personal growth and development, that is a separate point that's on that slide, but it encompasses so much of our lives, a large portion of our lives. Now, I've had situations where I've had people do things, and right now I'm thinking of someone that let me just be honest, right? That I haven't forgiven, y'all. I haven't. I'm going to tell you. I haven't forgiven. And I can tell you that I move towards forgiveness, but I haven't gotten there yet. In the comments, if you have personally struggled with forgiveness, say me. Just put it in the chat. say me. It doesn't have to be someone that you're currently haven't forgiven, but someone that you've had an issue with, that you struggled with forgiveness. Yeah. Put that in there. Say me. I'm gonna put me. I'm gonna write me in there, right? So I could be part of There you go. Right. And it is so as I'm telling you this, I'm not telling you this because, okay, I've got it all together, right? We're all learning together. We're all learning together. Forgiveness fosters resilience. And it fosters a growth mindset. When we forgive, we acknowledge our pain and we choose to move beyond the pain. And when we make that decision to move, it's showing resilience. It's showing the capacity to be an adult, right? When we forgive, when we do that, right, that's what is going on. There's so many places, so many people that are out there right now that are stuck on this particular point, on the issue of forgiveness. All right. So holding on to grudges, right? So this is what we were just talking about. Holding on to grudges. It affects your relationships, your mental and physical health, your personal growth, happiness and contentment, and of course, it affects your energy and focus. Because as I said, all of the energy that goes into holding on to those grudges, right? Holding on to those grudges. And it is hard, y'all. It is hard, y'all, to get the energy to do that and to move forward in life. So, what do we do? What do we do? There are so many things that we can do. And let's hop over here. This is it. So, practicing forgiveness. Now, anything that we want to do well, requires practice. I think they say, is it 18 minutes a day for a year and you become an expert at something? I think it's 8. I think that's the correct number. And so just like we practice piano and we practice basketball and we practice tennis and we practice golf and we practice math and we practice all the things that we practice, forgiveness is a practice, has to be practiced. You've got to set yourself in the mindset, in the mind frame of forgiveness. And this is where we're heading here in just a minute. Right now, I want to say welcome to everyone who's out there. If you are out there and you're listening, go ahead and give us a thumbs up for the video. If you're liking what you're hearing, if you're liking this topic, if you're liking the things that we're doing on the channel, you are the people, you are the community that we want to talk to. And we want to engage with you. So go ahead and let your family, your friends, your physicians, your practitioners, your coaches, let them know that this channel is here. All right, and all the things that we're doing. And you see, we have a kind of a, so when you hear me talk at the beginning of the show, and I said, this is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. So, right, that's my specialty. And here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage people to take charge of their health and their life, avoid complications, go to the next level, create the life they've always wanted, right? That's what the channel is about. And you'll notice all those things that I say, that is life. That's the rounding of what we do. Right? So we are here to help with health. We're here to help with mindset, with growth. This series that we are doing right here is a perfect example of personal development. This is an amazing one. And I am learning so much as I go through this series with you as well. Okay? We got one more one more show for this series. So come on back next week, and we want to make sure let your folks know that the series is out there. Let me hop back over to this guy. All right, and there it is right there. Okay, that top line. All right, that's our series. The Art of Letting Go, Unlocking Your True Potential. Because that's what letting go, as we've been talking about here tonight, that's what letting go does. It helps you to unlock your potential, because all the energy that you have been putting into those things, the past, limiting mindsets, right? Fear, all of those we release. And so now we have the energy to go after what we want, right? So create the life we've always wanted. So if you've not done so yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let your folks know who are out there and have them do the same. I want to take a moment here also to talk about our website. Dwayne Wood MD is where that is. Make sure you head over there, and you'll be able to engage with us with other things that we are doing on the website. So we have our coaching, we have our blog, that if you've not been over there yet, there is a great wealth of information. We're talking about things here on the channel, but we also have the blog that we do, and that comes out on a weekly basis. So make sure that you head over there. This is the website, Dwayne Wood MD, and let me just go ahead and hit that blog so that you can see all the things. I'm not even sure how many blog posts we have out there now. Let's see. So yeah, bunch of them. Everything from diabetes to food, general health, journaling, next level, right? So this is our, the power of habit, transforming our lives, discovering your superpower, master these 7 steps to positive behavior, why we don't let go of harmful things, how to win every time and never lose, the magic of words, right? So it's on and on and on. So as we are growing here, we're trying to do a well-rounded set of offerings for our community. If you are interested in working with me directly, that is our coaching program that you can get to on the website there as well. And then to be part of our Ready, Set, Grow membership, you can get to the website and do that as well. If you are looking to increase your confidence and self-esteem, get clarity and focus on what you want to do, have more energy, enhance your physical and emotional well-being, get greater financial stability, right? So all the things that we're learning, all the things that we are teaching here on the channel, those are things that we are doing in our community, right? So not just here on the channel, there are other things that are going on. So make sure you get over there as well. All right. So we're talking about letting go, right? We're talking about letting go for the benefit of our lives, right? We want to make sure that we can put our energy into the things that will bring us value. The things that will bring us value. And we're throwing away baggage. We're getting rid of the stuff that's holding us down because we're creating the life that we always wanted. And so we're talking about getting rid of that mindset of holding on to grudges, right? We want to get rid of those, and we want to work on our forgiveness. So forgiveness. So how do we practice forgiveness? How do we practice forgiveness? And I've talked here about journaling. If you are not journaling, you need to do so. If you are currently not journaling, if you don't have a journal, go out, get a piece of paper, get an old style loose leaf book, get on your phone. They have these memo apps that you can dictate. Begin journaling, because journaling is an excellent way of recording your thoughts, of processing thoughts, right? Processing ideas. It's a way of looking back to see where you were. There are times when I, done some journaling and moved away from it and then come back to it and say, oh man, I didn't realize that's what I was thinking. I didn't realize the hurt that was going on. I didn't realize the thought process that was going on there, and look at where I am now. So it's also a way of chronicling improvement. So once again, if you're not journaling, make sure that you begin doing that. It's free, y'all. Right? Sitting down and writing, it's free. Right? You don't have to pay for it. It's simply an exercise to help you get through those feelings and to process them. The other thing is meditation and visualization. Meditation and visualization. Meditation allows you to be still and be quiet so that you can hear. It is a conscious decision not to empty your mind, but to be still. It allows you to let go of negative emotions. It allows you to be able to let go of those attachments that connect you and ground you to negativity. And visualization allows you to see what is possible for you, what's possible in the future. What could it be like if I did not hold on to that whatever thought process, that grudge, that fantasy, that revenge fantasy? What would it be like? Empathy practice. So this is this is an interesting one. And let me be cautious as I say this. But the empathy practice allows you to see things from a different point of view, perhaps from the point of view of the offending person. And so I said, let me be cautious as I say this, right? So this is not for you to absolve them of whatever they did, but to understand a point of view that often can lead to a shift in emotion. And remember, our thought process, our understanding of something dictates our emotions about that thing. And those dictate our behavior, and our behavior dictate our result. So thinking differently about something, a perspective, a pivot, a change in mindset is what empathy practice is. That's what that is. And then affirmations. This is a great one for forgiveness. I choose to forgive, right? That's one. I choose to forgive this person. I choose to let go of this anger. I choose to. That's the person who I am. I'm affirming that in my life. It can be a powerful way of creating a space for success. Yeah. And then seeking professional help. You can, you must, you should reach out. If you find yourself continually in knots and not able to move. I talk a lot about the 3 phases of the stress response. We all know about the fight or flight. The third one is freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. And often because of this issue, we find ourselves not fighting, not flighting, not running, but we find ourselves frozen because of the memories, because of the emotions, because every time that thing comes, it takes away a couple hours. It takes away a couple of minutes. It takes away a thought. It takes away energy. So if you find yourself there, seek professional help. You may need a counselor. You may need a coach. You may need a pastor. You may someone to help you professionally to move from the space where you are to a place of success. If you're dealing with deep-seated resentments and complex emotions, don't try to go it alone. Make sure you reach out and get professional help. Physical activity. This one, right? We discount it, right? You know, those endorphins that they tell you that come out, right? All those feel good emotions when you're exercising, when you're burning energy, when you're moving, then the mind is free to do things and to think and incorporate and process. It's good for the brain and it's good for the body. So physical activity is a wonderful way of practicing forgiveness. Practicing forgiveness. And then practice gratitude. Gratitude. Develop a practice of gratitude. What am I grateful for? I woke up this morning, y'all. I'm excited. Right? I woke up this morning. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I could speak. I'm grateful that I could sit here in this space and talk to you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you choose to spend time with me here on the channel. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm able to learn with you as I go through these different videos and series and episodes. I'm grateful, y'all. I'm grateful for my son who's graduating this week. Woohoo! I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my practice, my office, my team, without whom I could not do my job. I'm grateful that I have a job to go to. Now, is everything in my life perfect and the way I want it to be all the time? No. But I'm grateful. And the joy that comes from gratitude can help with this forgiveness, right? Because we're practicing forgiveness on a daily basis, y'all. On a daily basis. That's what we're doing. Practicing forgiveness. Oh, man, I love this topic. This is a good topic. You all the things that we have been talking about in the series, letting go, right? Great place to begin working on that life that we say we want, that next level we say we want to go to, the gifting that we have in us that we want to give to the world, the purpose that we have, the purpose that is it is what we're supposed to be doing. That's why we're here. If we're going to go to that, we gotta give up some stuff. We gotta let go of some things. We gotta throw some baggage away. Because if we don't, we're stuck right here. We're stuck right here. And we don't want to do that. We want to get unstuck. And we want to move into a future of relational prosperity, financial prosperity, health prosperity, professional prosperity. If we're going to do that, if we're going to be in that space, yeah, we can't bring all the stuff that we've got with us. We're going to get rid of some of it. And this is a place to start by letting go. Right? And that's what we're talking about in this series. Letting go. Letting go. Awesome. All right. So once again, thank you guys for being out there. Yeah. Yep. If you're excited about letting go, say yes. Yes. If you're excited about letting go, say yes in the comments. And this actually is a great place. Let's go ahead and do our thought of the day. And our thought of the day is this. What patterns do you recognize in yourself? Are you adept enough? Have you listened to yourself enough? Have you paid attention to yourself enough to notice patterns that aren't serving you well? You know, we all go through different things, and we find ourselves often over and over in same situations. So in relationships, we find ourselves attracted and in relationship with the same type of people. We say that's not the type of person we want, but there we are because there is a pattern that we follow. We say we want to be financially secure. We want to have the ability to save, to put away, to invest, but we don't have money to do that because there are patterns in our lives that we are going through, that we are following, that are not serving us well. We say that we want to be a good leader, but our team continually falls apart because there are patterns that we follow that are not serving us well. Have you identified patterns? Have you looked for patterns? Do you find yourself in the same type of situations? And have you wondered why? Have you analyzed it? If you haven't, why not? If you have, what are you doing about it? So what patterns have you identified? And not just what patterns have you identified, what are you doing to change the patterns so that you can move to the next level? That is our thought for today. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for trusting me to spend some time with me here on the show. We are rounding out our idea of letting go, right? So what things are you letting go of? And remember, there on our channel, I'm gonna pull it up one more time so that you can see this is our list right there. The art of letting go, unlocking your true potential. Okay, so this is episode number 5, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So this is episode number 5 that we're doing right now. And then we have episode number 6 coming up next week. You want to be here. That's right. You want to be here. You do not want to miss that episode. There is so much that we can do in our lives. And I am so excited that I get to be a part of the process of helping you along your journey. That is what this channel, that is what all that we do is intended for, right? To help educate, empower, and encourage you to take charge of your health, take charge of your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. We will see you next week. Thank you for being here.